Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Joanne, welcome. Mr. Real Great, RJ, Mandy. How's everybody doing? Haven't even gotten started yet, and we're already looking at about 30 people between YouTube and Twitch. Oh, it's been a while. It's been a heck of a week. We have a lot to talk about today. Some big stuff, some small stuff. It's gonna be a day. It's gonna be a very good day. But yeah, how is everybody doing? Hey, Crystal the Cat, hello. Tatiana, welcome back. Leak Cart Mort. Those are emojis? Are those like mugs? I can't tell. Man, I don't know what I'm working with sometimes with restream emojis. I feel like I never see emojis. Is this new for restream? Usually when I see emojis, they don't actually come through. So this is interesting, but Mr. Smo, hello. Tony loves music. Yeah. I don't even know how to broach all the things we're going on. Yeah, I had one heck of a week. What happened to my villager Sapphire? Sapphire, so fun fact. If I'm getting this correct, Sapphire actually is Fred. Or no. Wait. Oh god. Yeah. Fred. Fred became Sapphire by accident. I accidentally renamed Fred. So your villager and Fred have merged into one entity, a hive mind. Callum, welcome. Yeah, I had a heck of a week. I don't want to get into too much detail, but big family stuff. Some drama there took me away from work and YouTube and everything for most of last week. And because of that, me and Viking actually agreed that we're going to extend my Everwake time about an extra week for this cycle. So that's nice, because I really do have some big plans. And now that the straight line video's out, I hope you like that, by the way. Go watch it if you haven't seen it. Tatiana, you can't see it, just give it a little refresh. But yeah, I've got a lot to do, and let's get into things. All right, black screen for a second. Wait for it to figure itself out. OBS. There it is. So some early hints, a lot of concrete, and yeah, you notice a little bit of a trend going on. Blue blocks. We'll get into that shortly. There's good old Moist Kevin from our last stream. He's a lovely fellow. So I'm gonna explain the tasks going on, like the tasks I have this month, because I can't really talk about the stuff that I want to talk about this week or today without explaining it. So we will go over that in just a sec. I want to get some of this warped nylium growing. Perfect. That'll do for now. There we go. Had to back out. So good to see your face. Thank you. It's a nice face. Hey, Uda, welcome to the stream. Josh, I'm curious, what's your favorite style of architecture? I do love Japanese architecture, right? Like, that's a good look. It just looks good. Now, it's hard to say if it is like my favorite thing, but it's certainly what comes to mind. I love kind of a natural mix of like an organic, natural look mixed with architecture. I think that always is the best form. Like, to me, the big city is kind of a hellscape. And it's not necessarily because it has to be. It's just that it's been designed so aggressively with so little natural beauty in mind. Are we gonna hatch the other happy gas today? Probably not, because I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. I might give it to Viking. We'll see. All right, folks, let's have a look at our tasks. So the tasks Viking have given me, and you know what? I'm just gonna summarize rather than read the books. Store the age. Basically, Viking wants me to build storage sorting systems for the farms that he made. So like for the iron farm, particularly the gold farm and the guardian farm. That one I can do, that's fine. I wish he had waited until the copper golems were out, to do storage stuff, because that's going to change everything, and that's going to instantly outdate everything I'm making. But such is the case. Chat did this. I don't know if any of you are responsible for this, but you should feel bad. You are bad, and you should feel bad. Viking made it so I have to... Oh, that's the wrong one. I have to build something blue. You know how last month I gave him a challenge to do a medium-sized, maybe useful build that had no blue in it? Well, he did the opposite. I have to do a medium-sized, maybe useful build that is entirely blue. And then there's this one. And this is probably my favorite of the lot. I have to make him a mystery. Again, it's very much like the mystery task I gave him, and that really awesome mystery he made for me. This is the opposite. I'll be making him a mystery. Catherine, what? You've been wreaking havoc on my content recently. First you kill Kevin, now you do this. Unbelievable. Hey Lesnick, welcome to the stream. Rabalder, what's up? Blame Catherine. Yes, exactly. Catherine putting out hashtag blame Catherine. Got ads. So sad. I'm gonna miss what chat did. I gotta build blue build. That's the idea. So what we're gonna do, there's a whole few reasons for this. I want to combine the mystery task and the blue build task into one thing to accomplish something we all need to do. And this is the big change that I've been alluding at for any of you coming from TikTok. TikTok or Shorts. After our little in-person meeting, thanks to the Wake Up Potion last month, it has become clear that there was a bit of a divergence and a miscommunication in what was the initial intention, right? So when I built our house, the idea was that this was a house that we would share. So I wanted to make sure I did like all right with it. Make a good build and we could both live in it, take turns living in it basically. And that we would kind of grow with this house. Instead, I wake up next time to Viking having built his little strange creature of a house with his own storage system and everything. So in my mind that says, oh, okay, we're living separately, we have separate stuff, this is how it's working. But then after our meeting last month, Viking then brought up that he's like, I thought we were sharing items, having mutual storage, that kind of thing. So miscommunication. And what I want to do is reconverge on the initial idea of us basically living and sharing the same space. So in order to do that, I'm going to knock out basically 3 birds with 1 stone. And we're going to build a very, very big new house for the Everwake. One that we will both live in with a mutual storage system, our own bedrooms, everything you need. Basically, it's going to be Everwake's first real mega build. Now, will we actually be able to accomplish it? So this week I'm committing to gathering resources, and then the next 2 weeks are building. Will we be able to do that within 3 weeks? I really don't know. I really don't. But we're at least getting started. Now, at the same time, I want to incorporate the mystery into that build. I also want to do the blue element, the blue build element. However, I'm not going to make the whole thing blue. I'm not. There's going to be some element of it that is blue. Maybe the section that is Viking's like sub house. So think of it less like a house, more maybe like a duplex, like apartment building, right? So it's one building that shares a lot of things, but ultimately kind of 2 living spaces. So almost like I guess like a dorm is almost more accurate, because it's like, you know, shared bathroom, shared amenities, that kind of thing. But your actual you have your own personal spaces within it. So now there's a few things. I know where I want to build it. I want to build this pit as its basement, and then we can kind of have this as a farming area. Right? Because Viking already has this. So like my default instinct would be to make this the storage area, but I don't want to have to listen to farms and villagers while doing all my storage. Like I don't want storage too far away from a workshop, and I don't want to have to do my workshop stuff with the sound of iron golems dying and such. That's not fun to me. So this is probably going to be like an area where we set up a bunch of little resource farms. I'm probably either going to tear down the shop. The shop will at least be repurposed, but if I need space, I'm going to tear it down. Now, the blue barn, I really don't want to touch the blue barn because it was like Viking's first real build in the area, and it just feels wrong to get rid of it. One of the things I want to discuss with you guys, though, what should this actual build be? I've got some ideas, but I'm really struggling to land on something. One of the best so like probably the two best contenders that I've had in my mind is one like a massive tree, something like the top of the tree taller than the mountains, or at least as tall. Huge tree with a tree house, bridges that go out to the edges. That'd be sick. Another idea is like a giant, like Big Ben style clock tower. I've decided that I'm going to stop stressing so much about Everwake being too similar to UHCG, because yes, in reality, this is inspired by UHCG, and I think we're well past the point where it's established its own identity. So as much as I am hesitant, if you'd asked me at the start of Everwake, would I ever build a clock tower in Everwake? Absolutely, I would have said no. But I think A, this is different enough that it's like, it's not that similar. And B, it's also very thematic, right? We've got the hourglass. Like, time is a massive subtext of Everwake, and a giant clock tower to behave as our base would be really cool. So I don't know. There's been other ideas. Does anybody have new ideas? I'm totally down to hear new ideas. I mean, the thing about a tree, as much as a tree would look really, really good, it's not the most original idea, you know? I mean, I guess a clock tower, not super original either, but there's more room for like some creative originality with that. Yeah, kind of a gothic clock tower is what I was thinking. But I like the idea. I do really like the idea of having bridges, mostly just to make navigation easier, because it gets so old going up and down these cliff edges. One of the things that I was going to do, and I'm still not entirely sure if I will or won't, or what the plan is, ever since the leads were updated with the Happy Ghast update, there's been all sorts of cool designs, but one of them is like a ski lift. So I wanted to build a ski lift that would go up here and then down over to Blue Haven. But I'm not sure how much sense that makes right now. I also got to be really smart about my priorities. Like something like that, it's not a huge build, but it could still take a couple hours, and that's a couple hours that could have been committed to a mega base. So let me look at these comments. What am I missing? You seen that picture of two Victorian houses that are next hour? I'm not sure what you mean. So exactly the same dimensions, but the two houses have totally different aesthetics. Oh, like next to each other. I don't think I have seen that, but I can envision what you're saying. That's interesting. Clock tower would work as a reminder of time. Clock tower treehouse. That's fascinating. Looney, welcome. Think the clock tower could fit with having a blue face. That's an idea. That's an idea. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to have like a hardcore heart in the center of it, because it's not even a hardcore world. Regardless of UHCG, that doesn't even make sense. A bonsai tree. See, I love that. Also, I am a huge sucker for bonsai trees. I keep killing them every time I get a bonsai tree. They're very sensitive, and it's broken my heart now 3 times, so now I just have Lego bonsai trees. In fact, I can't show it very easily, but I still have my first bonsai tree in a pot over there. It's been dead for like 7 years, and I just don't have the heart to throw it away. I like the tree. You would need to remove a build. Yeah, because I would need a good root base. I could definitely get rid of this. And kind of build the tree centralized here. People liking the tree idea. An observatory. That's fancy. Now, an observatory works. However, we are also surrounded by mountains. Like, there could just be an observatory build. It doesn't have to be our house. But that would be sick. Build Kevin. Hey, Jules, how you doing? Old style hotel in a Victorian genre. That's cool. An intertwine with the tree. What's intertwined with the tree? Skyblock King? I missed something there. What about a clock tower in the tree? I would almost imagine that more of like a vine wrapping up it, which is cool, but at that point, I don't know if the tree makes that much sense in general. When is the stream ending? We're going to be here a while. Roughly another 3 hours. Big Ben is always pictured in the Tower of London and the London Bridge. Fair. I know it's original, but underground mega base. Well, so there's nothing saying. One thing I wanted to do, if Viking hadn't used the space, at some point I was gonna basically blow all this out into a huge cavern underneath and build an underground like city area. I'm trying to think of how blue would work in a tree. So basically, like blue vines, think of it almost like a infection, like the tree has a parasite, which I feel is very apt for my opinion of blue right now. Blue kind of infecting the tree. Typically streams go for about 4 to 6 hours. Yeah, it won't be going that long today. It'll be about 3 hours. Love my Lego bonsai tree. I kind of think a nature clock tower. That's another thing, right? Because me and Viking have both been building this, and Viking's very much established his aesthetic is blue. My aesthetic is try to make something fancy. And there's not a whole lot of good middle ground. Like, I think Blue Haven is probably the best example of trying to marry the two build style themes we're going for. And this works. It's not my favorite. I do like Blue Haven, but I would like to do better if I could. And so that's another thing, is we have so many different build styles going on in it, and it's like, what's going to fit here that's not going to feel out of place? Twitch sucks because of the ads. OMG, finally caught your live stream. Welcome to the stream, Karen. Absolutely love the series. Thank you. Blue lightning traces in a tree could be cool. Spammers will be given a warning. Don't expect Josh to read every message. That is, yeah, I do my best, but it's also, we're here for entertainment, not just reading chat. A magical bean. So like Jack and the Beanstalk kind of thing. Yeah, let's see. Accents could be blue. It's tricky. It is tricky. There is something interesting, like conceptually worth exploring about mixing a clock tower and a tree. It's an interesting concept. It's a very interesting concept. Can I read yours? Read Skyblock King. What did I miss? I'm starting to lean towards clock tower. Yeah. If you do the tree, you can make the roots and use them for different things. I like that idea, but where's the roots gonna go, right? We do. So when you think about the shape of a tree, right? It kind of starts out into a cone, like think the bottom of a chess piece, goes up into the trunk, and then spreads out. Ironically, a little bit like the hourglass. That's an interesting comparison, actually. It'd be really hard to... I had the brief idea of making the tree into like a clock tower, but boy, that would be... I mean, a tree into an hourglass, but that would be really tough. That would be really, really tough. I don't think that's the idea. What are we giving suggestions for? Taylor, we are making a mega base. So my month is basically going to be building a mega house for both me and Viking to move into. There's some other details there, but that's the gist of it. Ruin clock tower with a tree overtaking the ruins. It's daytime. I could be like living life right now, but part of what I'm doing right now is gathering resources for the build. I've gotten blue because that's like the one block that I know 100% I'm going to be using, but we could also probably start farming some wood. Might be crazy, but what if I just build a giant hourglass? Well, see, that's another thing. I don't want to outshine the hourglass, like the existing hourglass, because it's kind of the icon of the series. So like it would kind of it'd feel like a bummer if it was not the coolest hourglass there. The series got me into Minecraft. Keep the content coming, please. Will do. Absolutely. Let's see. For the moment, let's just plant a little bit of everything. I do wish we had a tree farm. I really do. A floating observatory with some kind of big laser holding it. I mean, again, that'd be cool. That makes more sense to have like up in the mountains than it does right down here in the middle of the valley. Also, as cool as that is, I don't know if it's what I want for the house. Right. We're trying to embody the idea of it'd be nice if this could really thematically fit in Everwake. It's just hard to figure out exactly what that's going to look like. By the way, welcome to all about 80 people in the stream. Thank you for being here. 80 people between YouTube and Twitch. Now, who's ready to ruin some of the terrain with Podzol? Me? Yes, me. Idea just hit me. A clock tower that has a tree growing around it. And you know, that's kind of... Somebody said that, and it's a good idea. It is a cool idea. It really is. It's almost interesting to make it so each element could kind of behave as a different house, right? Somebody could live more in the clock tower and somebody could live more in the tree. It's an interesting idea. I'm trying to envision it in a way that's going to be... you know what? That is a unique concept. It is. I think I'm leaning towards that. And now that we've got Prismarine, like... We do have all the blue blocks that we need to do something mega. Like, that was part of what took so freaking long with Blue Haven, is just all that blue concrete. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. How's a tree farm work? There are ways to build automated tree farms. It's basically you grow the trees, and then you use a TNT duper to destroy them. But I just more mean like a good space for tree farming, right? This has been kind of our universal tree farming area over here. And I mean, it's fine, but it's a little awkward. It'd be nice to have somewhere flat with like designated plots where you can kind of just go tree to tree to tree without having to think too hard. Everwake to me is like time, sun, and moon. We actually did have some concepts early on. We did land on obviously the kind of shattered moon look for the logo, but there were some like sun and moon, yin and yang kind of designs that we looked at. What if you build a tree with the roots and vines holding a clock face? It's cool. I think I do like the idea more of just the tree growing around it. Like almost like a bonsai tree kind of wrapped around it. Yeah, like a gothic clock tower, like Big Ben kind of thing. With a tree kind of growing around it, almost like a vine, like it's an old vine that basically turned into a tree. So glad to see you live. I love Everwake. Watching you and Viking would make this. I can't talk today if that hasn't been super obvious, but thank you, Cozy Gamer. So glad to see you live. I love the Everwake. Watching you and Viking make this world is so fun. Thanks. Does anybody know this should just grow, right? Since I never farm warped fungus. Is you put it on the warped nylium and it grows, right? That's all there is to it. So these will grow eventually. Is this build the goal for the remainder of your time this month? Yes. I mean, I don't know if I'll be able to finish it because again, we're talking a mega base here. Like I'm going to be grinding really hard every time. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do a big build this month. I did too much building last month. Month before last, it was that tunnel for Viking's death. And I was like, okay, next month isn't about building. The next month I build Blue Haven. And I was like, okay, next month's not going to be about building. Here we are, and I'm doing something even bigger than Blue Haven in theory. I need bone meal. You have to bone meal it. Okay. I do have bone meal, so that's good to know. Oh, that's already grown. I think I'm fairly well convinced on the tree wrapped around Blue Haven, or tree wrapped around a clock tower idea. I think that's a good idea. Is this a task? Yeah, basically. We're combining a couple tasks. So my task this month is basically item sorting for the farms Viking made. I have to make him a mystery, which I plan to incorporate into this house. And I have to do at least a medium-sized, potentially useful build entirely out of blue. Which I'm thinking that's going to be a specific element of the house that will be entirely. Do I dare make the clock tower blue? Right? Because that would almost work. If the clock tower is blue through the center and then you've got this nice kind of darker tree that wraps around it into a big sprawling canopy at the top. That could work. It really could. And I don't hate that idea. Yeah, he hit me with the blue build indeed. He said, well, now we say that, but he blamed it very thoroughly on chat. So whoever's been watching Viking streams, Catherine took some credit. But whoever's responsible, you're all dead to me. After Blue Haven, I'm like, haven't I used enough blue? My God, that build was so tough for me. Would blue terracotta be more muted for an aesthetic of a gothic style? It could be a good thing to have, at least in the palette. Like, that's part of the thing, right? We just, if to deal with some of this blue, we've got to reduce, we've got to have more variation of blue. Oh, man. I hate phantoms. We go inside now. If I were to go back, I'm not sure I would keep phantoms on the Everwake because it seemed like a nice little flavor thing. But as I've played Everwake, the more I've realized is just cats. I mean, phantoms just suck. They're not a fun challenge. Phantoms just suck. They just suck. That's all there is to the story. And it does, like, if you... Obviously, I don't do this as much as I used to, but it almost cuts your playtime in half because half of it is just spent waiting around for days so the phantoms could go away. Looney, we have actually like a ton of cats. Have you seen Viking's house? Viking's got cats. And I do have a cat. Viking also did park some cats around the valley, which is really nice. But it's not even the phantoms themselves that annoy me. It's the sound. I can't stand the phantom sound, man. Yeah. We also have here, I'll fly over there while we're waiting. We have a cat cafe in Blue Haven. It's pretty nice. The idea that I realized is flawed is to put wild cats back here and for us to be able to breed them and tame them and just get as many cats as we need. But then I realized cats have to be tamed in order for you to breed them. So that kind of messes with things. Yeah, so let's see. Mob switch. Can you mob switch phantoms though? Because I feel like they're their own spawn mechanic. So do they get affected by that? Lone, welcome to the stream. Have you thought of putting cats all over the place to remove them? So one thing I've thought about doing is putting like cat totems around with actual cats on them, just as like, I don't know how to explain it, but almost like Japanese garden little totems where I don't know if they actually serve like some sort of like cultural purpose in Japan, but aesthetically it just looks good and fits. Just little totems all over the place to make like some phantom shielding. Like it of course is better if I don't get attacked by by phantoms. It's just the sound. I almost wonder about getting a resource pack just to at least make the sound quieter. Cat cafe can still work if you both park a cat there. Can your cat breed with another person's cat? Does that work? Why did what take so long? There's a game rule that affects only phantom spawning. Yes, there is, but it's, we try not to. It's something we had in the start of the series and have established as like a pain point in the series, so it's not the best to just turn it off. There must be a mod pack where you can edit specifically sound of phantoms. I mean, you could do that. You could do that just with a resource pack. All I have to do is make a quick resource pack where I take the sound file, make it quieter in some editing software, and then boom, it's just quieter. But or I could just make it a totally different sound, something more funny. Okay. So how would we build this tower? So the tower ideally would be about as wide as this hole in a square, maybe a little bit bigger. Go up to maybe about like Now I'm thinking, which should be taller? The clock tower or the tree? Like, I feel like the clock tower would look good, right? If you have the clock tower's top kind of peeking out the top, and then you've got the limbs of the tree spreading out around it. And then you could even do like little house areas, like tree house areas hanging off branches of the tree. But you also don't want to drown out the clock tower. And then you've got to think about it, like with a clock tower, the clock is about at the 3/4 up mark, usually. Maybe a little closer to the top. But that's also where the tree canopy would be. So how do you build it in a way that you can still see the clock faces, but also the canopy doesn't have like weird gaps in it that don't make sense? What do we name the gasling? Moist Kevin. That's what we named the gasling. Moist Kevin. Blame chat. Be really awesome if the Phantoms whispered time is running out. I mean, that would be very ominous. I would recommend WBCE builds for inspiration. All right, I'll have to look into that. Data pack to reduce spawn rate and sound. That would be nice. I mean, another solution is I could just die and it resets the phantom clock. But point of pride, you don't want to just die over and over. The cat cafe. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm glad I gave you the experience. Thank you, Megan. Let's see. I'm just sitting in a cloud now. We have done a good job here, though. I mean, this looks good. Yeah, I really want to make sure I get this right, because somehow, despite the kind of chaoticness of our builds, it has come together into something nice to look at. So, and I don't want to destroy that. I also, you know, I realized we never meant to do this, but we did kind of divide the valley like perfectly in half. Blue on this side, my stuff on this side. Like, yeah, I built the stable, but I also incorporated blue so it would go well. It's just all the blue stuff did end up on one side of the valley. That is funny. Sir Kevin the Moist, my God. No, I specifically tried to ban the word moist. I do not accept responsibility. Look, there was a vote. There was a straw poll. It is not my fault. Kevin was an option, and Moist Kevin won. If you make like a bonsai tree, you would have kind of natural levels. That is true. That's very true. Skylar, you got a point. You do have a point there. Okay, it is daytime. Let's see. So what materials do we want to build with? Wood for sure. Well, let's focus on farming up some of this wood first. Okay, daytime's gonna take a while here, isn't it? Okay, nerd. Ah, I missed. That's another thing, is there's just enough lag on the Everwake server that sometimes arrows just don't work right on phantoms. It's definitely exacerbates the issue. Alright, well, let's focus on the trees for just this moment. Anybody got build palette ideas? So, what do you guys agree that maybe the clock tower should be in large part blue? Obviously not entirely. Also, yeah, that's a good question. Does oxidized copper count as blue? It's clearly right on that line. I mean, I think there's an argument to be made that it is more green. But hey, maybe if you're colorblind. Yeah, I think what we're actually getting from Viking's obsession with blue is that he hates colorblind people. Obviously, right? Like, blue-green colorblind, you know? It's really uncool of him, man. Can't believe Viking hates colorblind people. I'd love to vote. I'd vote more green. I think that's valid. It's teal, but think about how good copper could look in a clock tower. Like if the clock tower ends up being my medium to blue build, or medium to big build, that has to be blue. Like, don't you think copper would look good as an element mixed with blue? Not by itself, of course, but... God, Podzol is the biggest troll, man. Should herd all the phantoms into Viking's place. I don't think you could with all the cats. I think getting them in there would be insanely difficult. Oh man, there's a little more puzzle there. No more, right? Yep. Good enough. Copper, fine with me. Favorite block. I'm excited for it. So, if Viking looks at it and says it's not blue, you all have to say, obviously copper is blue. Obviously. You're crazy. You're insane. And yeah, let's farm up. Definitely got to get the warped nylium. That's just going to be a requirement for any sort of future blue build I do now, because yeah, that's part of the problem with the blue build palette is there's just not been texture. It's all flat blues, flat aggressive blues. Oh man. Also, part of the other reason we need a new house is my storage system is just getting so overfilled. Yeah, I need to make sure I'm collecting saplings, because I did use a lot of saplings just now. Bone mill, and let's go. I don't know if it can be pulled off, but you can make the parts touching the tower be more aged. See, there's also something to be said, but then that is just orange. But I do like the idea of letting copper do its thing naturally in a build. Like, you just build it out of normal copper, and particularly with the elements of time being so prevalent in Everwake, it'd be fun to watch it age. It's tricky. It's tricky. Maybe honestly, in my mind, getting this base is more important than the tasks. So maybe I take those liberties where I can, and then I leave it in Viking's. I leave it up to Viking whether he wants to award the points for it. Please, fine, we'll convince him copper is blue if you forgive us for making you use blue. All right, a deal's a deal. I don't know if it could be pulled off, but you can make the parts touching the tower be more... Oh, wait, yeah. The oxidized copper would look, especially as a compromise, you can make it kind of old and rusty. Yeah. How is Kevin the Moisturizer doing? He's doing just fine. I had a problem when I logged in a few days ago. The lead had broken when I logged in. I don't know if that's a bug or what, but nobody had been on, and I certainly hadn't broken the lead. But the lead was just laying on the ground at the base of the pole, so that was weird. I wonder if there's a rare bug with gas on leads that make it so the lead breaks. But it's something to be aware of. Use a fortune hoe to get your saplings fast. True. I always forget that hoes work. See, that's part of the problem with being an old school Minecrafter, is that after a while, some things just stop getting committed to memory. and you forget that like hoes are good for leaves and such. And sometimes you do remember it, but other times you're stuck in your old man ways and you forget details like that. Ow. Yeah, I definitely need a hoe if I'm going to be dealing with this though, because that stuff doesn't decay naturally. Oh, my poor inventory. Poor inventory, you didn't deserve this. Just trying to find space for trees at the moment. I guess there's no reason I can't put one over here. Oh yeah, I didn't even get down like most of my saplings. That could certainly be part of the reason my inventory is so full. Did I really... I know jungle saplings. Did y'all see that video recently about the guy complaining about jungle saplings not dropping enough? It's a valid problem. It's a valid concern to bring up. Hey, good afternoon, Amy. How about a bundle when dealing with your inventory? That is, I mean, that's true. I got the bundles. It's part of it is like, yeah, I just gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with my poor godforsaken storage system. I don't need that. Jungle slowly disappearing hits a little too close to reality. I know, right? I know, right? Rebalder, we gotta talk, dude. I don't want to call you out, but like, you are asking a bunch of very random off-topic questions that clearly is just trying to get people to interact with you in unrelated ways. And yeah, that behavior is kind of spammy and frowned upon. I would really appreciate it if you would stop, if we could stay kind of more on topic, more normal discussion topics. But yeah, please do not try to just farm engagement in my chat. I would highly appreciate that. In your house, what block is my white walls? It is white concrete. I burned down jungles in my world. Yikes. Okay, I am here for a hoe. I'm getting too busy talking to chat. And I'm doing the stream thing that I do, where brains stop working and I just wander around aimlessly and look at chat. It really is a beautiful thing. This is part of why I don't stream as much, because yeah, I just operate at like 50% speed on stream. It's just a sad reality of my poor ADHD brain. Probably don't care what a random internet fan thinks, but I've seen a massive improvement of building style from UHCG 2 to that Japanese build you point out earlier. Thank you. You know, honestly, part of it is planning. I did a lot more research and thought into that. I mean, I did put a lot of thought into the museum, but I've also done a lot of... So there was a time in the past where I was building a Japanese adventure map. And I built a lot of Japanese style builds back then. So I have a lot of practice building in that style, which is part of why it ends up being so good. Do you... Wait, how do you farm... Okay, this is actually super important because the warped forest is crazy far away. How do I reproduce this? How do I get more of this? That's gonna be a problem. Hello on YouTube. Hey, let's Nick on both platforms. True legend. Can I... No? That's a problem. That is a problem indeed. I'm not going to grow anymore until I do that. You can make this a build you both work on. See, and now I will peel back the curtain here a little bit. I did ask Viking subtly. I didn't want to give him full-on spoilers, but I was like, how do you feel about moving? Because I didn't want to make that decision for him. And he's like, that's fine. But that's all he knows. I think in large part, what I would do is do the build and allow him to customize it. Because Viking doesn't like building that much. He likes building certain types of things, but he's not super confident in his building skills, which, I mean, generally speaking, he should be. Like, look at that portal. That's nuts. But he does have more of a lane, and I think he likes to leave some of the, particularly the bigger builds to me. Bone mill and blue grass to get more out. Okay, bone mill, the blue grass to, oh shoot. I think I just threw that out. I need to keep that. I need to keep that then. Tell me it's still there. Okay. Thank you for saying that, because that could have been bad. His work on Clockcraft is crazy. Yeah, he's a good builder. He's a really good builder. But yeah, I mean, he has told me, he's like, he says not so much that I don't think he thinks he's a bad builder. I think he's, like I said, he's got a lane that he feels confident in. And he says structures is not that thing. But yeah, like, I would never, ever have thought to build something like this portal. Build a cool portal, sure, but like this, no, I would not have done. And this is awesome. Like, this is the kind of stuff that's really cool about Everwake. Like, there's a diversity to our build style in Everwake that just wouldn't be achieved by one person. Which in some ways it can clash. Sure, it's not perfect, but it's interesting. It's very, very interesting. Okay, I can't figure out if you guys are saying, which one do I bone mill? I bone mill the nylium. Okay, this is probably very wasteful. I think I'm getting what you're saying. I'm wasting bone mill by only using this on one block at a time, so I'm gonna stop doing that. So I don't bone mill the roots, I bone mill the block. That makes sense. I would love to see you and Mogswamp build something. I have met Mogswamp, but it's been very, very brief. We don't exactly have an open line of communication. Viking thinks he can only build, make farms and basic builds. I mean, I think, like, I don't think he's, like, scared of it or something. Don't get me wrong. I think he just feels confident in one way, and he doesn't, like, I think he feels like in Everwake, particularly, like, he has somebody, it's something that I'm good at, so it's more like he's happy to leave it to me more than he is, like, he's like, I don't feel great about making farms. He can make the farms. And he doesn't feel good about building the big structures, so I build the big structures. Like, it's a dynamic that works. It's not, like, a big thing. So I bone mill the block. Okay. I've been talking so much. Yeah, we've not really gotten much done. All right, well, I mean, right now could be a good time to talk about the other things we have to talk about. For starters, don't laugh. We're going to be talking about sponsor opportunities that I want to run by you. So I've gotten 2 interesting offers. One is from a Plushie company, believe it or not. They want to make me a plushie, which is freaking awesome. They're called Gimme Swag. They've done some work for people. The price for the plushies tends to be about $35, which is obviously, you know, it's a little high, but at the same time, you're talking about a niche merch item. Like, it's not a... When you're producing on a massive scale, you can reduce prices, but when you're producing on a smaller scale, things end up more expensive. That's just the way of the world. It'd be really cool, but I want to gauge if you guys are interested. Like, is this something you would want? Is this worth the effort? Because it's a cool opportunity for sure. Yeah, Kevin plushie. I mean, that's just a creeper plushie. Like, okay, it's in a boat, but that's even then, that's not that crazy. But yeah, it's a cool opportunity and I like it. I definitely want to see if people are interested. Make an hourglass plushie. I mean, that's cool. That's a cool idea. There's nothing saying that if it goes well. So that's another thing about it, right? It's campaign based. So basically the idea is a concept until there's enough orders. And once it hits a certain amount of orders, then it actually gets produced and shipped out. So there's no guarantee that even if we did do this, that it would get in your hands. Now, to be clear, if it does get canceled, you don't get you don't lose your money. You get refunded. But yeah, it's cool. Okay, so I totally see people on board. Wouldn't a creeper plushie be copyright? Yeah, technically, but whether people actually, you know, there's all sorts of, technically Minecraft sounds are copyright, you know, like, it's all kind of about context. Plushies are for every age. Yeah, and you'd be interested in them for about $35. That's another thing. Like, that's kind of one of the things that was making me hesitate. $35 for what is kind of a stuffed toy, essentially, is a lot. Now, again, it's a very niche, specific toy, so it's like, it's got some justifiability in that area, but... All right, let's do some more, and then we can talk about the other sponsor here shortly. The other one could definitely be more polarizing, and that's part of why I want to talk with you guys about it, right? Because I do value being a trustworthy, like, I do feel that responsibility that if I'm going to do promotions, they should be ethically done. So, particularly because there are kids in my community, and I absolutely do not want to create situations that are scammy or anything like that. So, get a couple of these trees. Hey, Catco Comics, welcome to the stream. Spent 60 on a frog plush. 35 is not too bad. Used to collect them. 35 is good pricing. It's USD, I believe. I mean, Europe shipping will probably be more expensive than the plushie itself. Ouch. Ouch. I mean, there's another, like, I don't know what the order quantity has to be in order for it to actually hit production. That's another point of concern. Like, realistically, I'd be super shocked if we sold more than like 50 to 100 of them. That would be mind-blowing to me. But so yeah, I don't know. I want to look into the feasibility, but I also wanted to just run it by you guys before even really considering the effort, because it's a time commitment at the very least. And also, like, you know, I value the things I promote, and if I promote a overpriced plushie that no one's interested in, then that would suck. Particularly since I've never done merch before. So, noted. It seems like there's interest. Generally, I would say it's pretty expensive. However, for a specific type by a great YouTuber I enjoy watching and would support, I would buy that plushie for a price. Aw, thank you very much. Well, and see, that's exactly part of why I value making it a good product. Like, brand trust is one thing, you know, people liking me and wanting to support me. I obviously appreciate that. But in turn, I want to return the favor and give you something actually worth your money. Viking and Code Neon Everwake set to save on shipping. I mean, that would be sick. That would be very, very sick. The other sponsor opportunity, okay. And I did mention this on Discord the other day, for any of you coming from Discord. Do you guys know what G2A is? Now, I'm not talking about like an actual sponsorship from G2A, but like, do you guys know what G2A is? Like a game key distribution platform. Think of it like it is basically eBay specifically for game keys. And you know, the thing about eBay is everything that comes with eBay. When eBay's great, it's great. When it's not great, it's not great. You're talking scams, potentially stolen stuff, and other times you're talking about really good deals on great products. That's the problem with a marketplace model, is the company itself can rock, but the people who are selling stuff on it can suck. Right, so... no, nope, no. Okay, I think that's everybody saying no, they don't know. Yeah. So basically, a platform, to explain the specifically how it works. This platform does not sell game keys. What it does is it hosts like micro online stores for individuals who have bulk game keys to resell their keys on their game keys. A game key is... it's sort of like, okay, say you want to give your friend a copy of a game on Steam. So instead of buying the game, you buy a game key, which is basically like a password code that you get. And then that person can go and enter that into their Steam account, and the game will be added to their game library. So it's essentially a password that unlocks a copy of a game. Now, a lot of times these can be gotten in good ways, and a lot of times they can be gotten in bad ways. So a lot of times people can bulk buy keys during like Steam sales and such, and then you get the game at a discounted price. Other times it can be stuff like a scammer contacting a game publisher and claiming they're a journalist and asking for a set of review copies for their team. And then instead of using them for reviews, they actually turn around and sell them at a profit. Other times it can lead to situations where people, because it's a game key, right? There's no good way to verify if it's a real key. Other times it can be basically leading to where one of these individual sellers claim they have a key, but they actually don't. And so you buy a key and then you don't even get the game. Now, these are the things, these are like the worst case scenarios. I've used platforms like these, like G2A, Kinguin is another one. And I have had instances where things have gone wrong, but for every time I've had some go wrong, I've had probably 10 other times where I've gotten a deal. And you can save as, I mean, it depends on the game, obviously, but there's times where you can be saving $5-10. It can be a really great way. It's the closest thing in the modern day and age to having like a used game market, essentially. It's not the same, but it's as close as you can get. So why I'm explaining all of this is I had one of these companies approach me for a long-term sponsorship deal. And it's a good offer. It could allow me to do some things like maybe get an editor and expand my video production timeline so I can actually get videos out more regularly. I don't want to guarantee anything like that, even if it happens, but it seems viable. But again, because I have a channel that kids are on, I don't want to expose them to an environment where they could end up getting scammed. I wouldn't want to wish that on an adult, but at the end of the day, these platforms, just like eBay, it's all about your own personal responsibility. You know what you expect when you go on eBay, that something could go wrong. And is that fair? No. Is that great? No. But do you hate eBay for it? Usually not, right? Because that is just eBay. It's the same with these platforms. But you also, would you let a 13-year-old just go wild on eBay, right? Probably not, because they don't have the experience to, I mean, some do, but generally speaking, they don't have the experience to make sure they're making the right decisions to avoid situations where things are bad. So I'm a little torn, not because it's a bad offer, because it's a bad company, but I guess I just question is it a responsible choice? And I'm curious what you guys think. Okay, I've talked a lot and haven't even looked at the comments on this. Why did I get a Jack in the Box ad? I don't even have one near me. You do you, of course. The scammy potential is pretty high. I mean, that's the thing, right? Yeah, big scalping scene sounds like, but bulk key resale means you have way too many keys, and most people don't get way too many keys by accident. Well, yeah, I mean, there's business models around getting the keys. And sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. Because, like, again, you can do things like bulk buy them on Steam sales, and that's perfectly legit and fine. I always say get the bag, but I don't know how to handle it with minors in the community. Do you get control of my ad copy? Yes, I do. Actually, basically, that's part of what makes it cool, is they said they want natural integrations into my content, and that's the only thing they told me. So I can pretty much frame it however I want. However, there is like some, you don't want to be, there's a professional element where you also don't want to be, if you accept a sponsorship from somebody, it should be someone you're willing to talk positively about in general. And while I don't think this is necessarily negative, I also don't love the idea of taking a sponsorship and having to give a disclaimer every time I promote it. Yeah, and there's something valid to be said about the push YouTube is making right now to keep minors off the platform. As controversial and messy, as disastrous of a situation as that is, there's now also a conversation of, should I be in a spot still where I expect minors to be on the platform? It's tough. It's really tough. Somebody told me I should just go with my gut on it, and my gut says that it's risky. Not that it's good, not that it's bad. It's just that it's risky with the potential for things to end up bad. And I don't know. I think, again, it's a service I believe in. Like, I've used those platforms and I like them. There are scams in anything you do nowadays. Yeah, that's valid. That is valid. As long as you make it clear how dangerous and scammy it can be, yeah. I wouldn't do it. Imagine one of your younger viewers trying your sponsor and loses both money and excitement. Yeah. At the end of the day, it isn't your responsibility. True. I've just seen so many creators over the years just take sponsorships that are pretty pretty clearly icky. And I do want to hold myself to a high standard on that. I'm not saying perfect, but like, yeah, it's tough, but it's nice to see people's perspective at the very least, that generally, even after explaining the risks, people seem to say, well, yeah, again, like eBay, you can't police everybody. Like the honey scam. Oh god, yeah, honey is a great example, but honey was a mess for so many reasons. Like, it was bad for the creators, it was bad for the consumers, it was just bad. I mean, it was also just a straight up scam, right? Like, and you know, then there's other things like Prime Energy, and I'll leave it there. The fact that you are debating it is already more than many do. Props to you. Well, see, and of course I talk about it behind the scenes, but also highly important to talk with the audience about it. On something you're not sure about, in my mind, that's always a smart decision, is just get a vibe check from the people who you would actually be promoting this towards, right? And that's not like to offload responsibility or something like that. It's just, you know, communication is a very valuable thing. If you don't feel, people 14 and up should understand the internet well enough. And especially if they're using something like trying to get a deal on a game for game keys, like if they're already down the rabbit hole enough, they should, in theory, have the internet knowledge to be good. But then you got situations where you're like 10 and under. Now, again, these services require credit cards. So, and it's not like a phone where your phone is saving your payment information. I guess computers can do that, but like, these kids have to have credit cards, and that's your parents' responsibility. It's a little murky. It's not that I feel bad about it. It's just that let me think of a good example here. It's a tool, right? Let's say I was promoting a pocket knife. A pocket knife is an awesome tool for somebody who knows how to use a pocket knife and can be responsible with a pocket knife. I'm so happy to promote that. But in a position where I have, in any channel, like most channels could have kids, Minecraft is just naturally associated with having kids, even if that's not my target audience. Would I promote a pocket knife to children? Probably not. But I had a pocket knife when I was like 10. Just made it. What's being debated? Long story short, approached by a sponsor. I've been approached by a sponsor for a company that resells game keys, which can expose them, like, it can be scammy. It's not necessarily the company's fault, but it's just the nature of like a marketplace service where there's just going to be bad actors on there. And those can be scams for both ends of the spectrum. It can be scams for the person buying the keys. It can be a scam for the publisher of the game and got their keys basically stolen from them. But 9 out of 10 times, it's a good service that saves you money. Sponsors have yeah. You sound as though you're hesitant. I'm hesitant, yes, but I'm not. I don't know. I've just been thinking about it. It's not purely like the money incentivizing me. Like, obviously, yes, I always, like, this is my job and I do care about money, but it's also like when you're in a spot like what I do, you want opportunities in products you believe in. And I do believe, and I've used these products since I was like 15 years old. I think it's a good deal when it's a good deal. If you worry this much over a choice, it's best that you go with the safest option on this and you don't. Or you can flip a coin. If you react negatively. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, I've rambled. I'm really just rambling. I'm not even necessarily like all that torn up about it, because I don't think either way is that big of a deal. It's just, I have a lot of thoughts and I'm trying to sort them out. Hesitant, yes, but not because I think it's a bad product. I'm just more thinking about, is it right in general? It's kind of like Looney said, there's risks to everything, and I've just never been in a position where there is a product that I could promote that could do harm to a small group of people. And I have to ask myself whether that is genuinely my responsibility, whether the good outweighs the bad. Because to me, the good does outweigh the bad, but it won't for everybody. That's just a rule, and that's the pill to try to figure out if I can swallow. I've always said that if you feel hesitant, then your gut is telling you yeah, I see what you're saying. Maybe I'll stew on it. Yeah, mostly just wanted to talk and see what people think. Certainly not making a rush decision. That's the one thing I can say. Whatever decision I make, it's going to be because I believe in that decision. But it's good to know that it's very helpful to know people's knee-jerk reactions is not necessarily a negative thing. Where did that phantom go? Farm your trees underground so you won't be bothered by phantoms. I mean, I could. I guess I could farm them in the cave. I can't farm the tall ones underground. All right, so let's think about what other resources we should be farming right now. I mean, we've got all that blue concrete that I showed at the start of the stream. Yeah, let's keep farming this for a bit. Is that really in the way? There we go. Can't you make a tree farm? I could, but it would take more time than what it's worth at the moment. I mean, at some point we definitely need a tree farm, and I think it's that train of logic that has led us to still not having a tree farm this far in, but it's not been on super regular occasions that we need it, right? When we need it, but the rest of the time, yeah, like I'm farming wood about once a month. Am I wrong? Isn't there a mob sound you can turn on? Yes, but it turns down all mob sounds is the problem. Right? I don't want every mob turned down. I mean, it's blocks of sounds, right? So I could turn down friendly monsters or hostile mobs. I certainly don't want to turn down all hostile mobs because then I can't hear them coming like zombies and such. Would I incorporate bees into the tree? Probably could, yeah. Don't see any reason not to. I'm not sure it'd be like an immediate part of the build. Like, that's kind of part of the thing with mega builds is they kind of become long-term projects, right? Like, I wouldn't quite call Blue Haven a mega build, but it is bordering on it a little bit. And even that, still ongoing to a degree. There's still refinement happening. Having a good day. It's a bit busy, so I'm only partially listening, but it's been good. I just realized you might have been talking to somebody else, but Megan, I'm glad you're having a good day. I guess there's not any reason not to be holding on to this. What is this block called? Warped wart block. It's another blue block to have. It's a good thing to have. Though I am far more of a fan of the actual wood. I think it looks way better. Funny sound for the phantoms would be the white shark sound. I don't know what that is. Ooh, fun side effect where we're gonna get mushroom lights, whatever they're called.
Wow.
Hey, we're getting a donation. First one of the day, Storykeeper Withers. Thank you. What does it say? I am thankful that you are the kind of person that is ethically centered enough to be hesitant. Makes you one of the good guys. I appreciate that a lot. You know, again, it's important. I mean, it's good business practice, but also just like, you know, what I do is already like not that important of a job, right? I'm a very lucky individual that I basically get to make people laugh and smile for a living, which is a nice job, but it's not integral to society. So the least I can do is, at least when I do something that can affect people, do my best to do it ethically. I finally found the live stream. Old lady here who comments on your YouTube lots. Hey, well, thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Switched school, but I'm having a good day. What? Okay, I'm totally drawing a blank. Shroom light. I knew it was like fungus light or something, but it's like, that doesn't feel right. I remember the name being a little more, I guess, sleek, proper. I'm the old lady. Maya talking about boats. The Maya special. Oh my god, Maya boat gang was like so 3 weeks ago. Can't believe you'd still mention it. But the plushie idea, I'm really glad people are down for the plushie, because also I absolutely love the idea of having a plushie on that back shelf. Like, tell me that wouldn't be a nice little thing to have in the background of my videos. It's pretty sick. Pretty sick. I triggered Catherine. Catherine, no! Boats are like so 3 weeks ago. Guys, get with the times. That was Josh for please, please, the boats. No more boats. Guys know why some YouTube channels are making clickbait videos. I mean, people make clickbait videos because they get clicks. More clicks, more money, more viewership. But, yeah, clickbait's old as YouTube, pretty much. Whew. God bless this mess of an inventory. What can I toss? I guess I could throw some stuff here. Yeah. Actually, that would be Kevin in a boat. A creeper in a boat. But I mean, creepers and boats is not also like, that is far from a specific thing to Kevin, right? Pretty sure Scar has had creepers and boats this season of Hermitcraft. Who here watches Hermitcraft, by the way? Hermitcraft freaking rocks. In the Minecraft community, that's such a generic question. It's just like, oh, by the way, who watches, like, listens to Taylor Swift? It's just like, well, yeah, everybody. I guess I could put this stuff in the wood chest. For now, at least. It doesn't make the most sense, but inventory, man. Yeah, sure. Oh my god. 4 various cookies. Peanut brittle and cheesecake. Huh? Oh, that's what you're baking. Gotcha. I like the hourglass plushie. I do like that idea. Looney watches Hermitcraft. Looney, have you commented from 2 different accounts? I swear you had another, either we're talking about the same Looney here. Yeah, right. Oh, because you were on Twitch earlier. Yeah, so you were commenting from your Twitch account because one is Looney and the other is Looney. Got a dono. That means boat. Not usually. You know what? No, we're not doing the boat thing again. We can't. We can't, guys. We just can't. No more boats. Watch some hermits, mainly Mumbo, Grian, sometimes Scar. So I didn't watch Hermitcraft, but I watched live series with Grian for a long time. And then one day I was like, you know what? I'm a Minecraft YouTuber. I need to watch Hermitcraft and like know what that's all about. And that was right about the time season 10 was starting. So very, very late start into Hermitcraft for me, but yeah, so we started with Grian, watched like all of his seasons up till season 10, and then season 10 we've been watching Impulse, we've been watching Scar, been watching Momo, Catherine, fine, you get one boat. We get one boat. But yeah, I watch Mumbo, Grian, Scar, Impulse, Skiz. I'm definitely forgetting people. Tango. Anybody else? Jim, Pearl. Catherine. This will take a while. Choose your color of boat. Choose your color of boat. We can't do a blue boat, unfortunately, but we could do pink boat. We can do dark oak, spruce, regular oak. Could do mangrove boat. Found Mumbo in season 9, and then season 10 I started watching everyone. Yeah, I don't watch, there's a few channels I don't watch just because like the old style Let's Play can be really hard to do these days. Can be hard to watch, particularly when you're already watching a lot of stuff, right? I still like it, but it's hard to commit to on a regular basis. Pink boat. Bet. Right as I put away my cherry wood. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. There's your pink boat. And if you're really lucky, maybe a Kevin will go into it later. We'll name that one Kelly or something. Bada boom. There's your boat. Look at that. Nice pink boat. Okay. Let's see. What do we... Yeah, I don't want those. I'm trying to, like, I always, before I do a big build, I just try to grind up massive resources. I rarely plan out builds, but I do try to think of what resources I'm going to want for them, and I just try to go crazy on those resources for a while before getting into it. Not the most efficient or smart way of doing it, but it works. There's... I hate you. Hate you, hate you, hate you. Ah, the cat scared him. Thank you, cat. Thank you, Viking, for putting them. Did you know Vintage Applesauce doesn't watch Hermitcraft? What? Vintage doesn't watch Hermitcraft? Vintage. Vintage. Unbelievable. Hey, Looney, do you watch Dominion SMP? Oh, man, it's been a minute. Carl the Creeper, All Hail, the Kevin Boat. The only series I watch are UHCG, where I was introduced to you, and now Everwake. Well, you're already peaked, right? You're on the best stuff. You know, you can't do better than that. It's all downhill from here. Except for my new series that I'll be working on and getting out in the next couple months. That one you should watch too. Reminder to everyone to hydrate. Good call. Good call. What did I think of the way Lagundo ended his UHCG? Absolutely fantastic job. And you know, Looney, who's in the chat, is the next generation. And I can finally talk about, okay, that is something I need to talk about. For those of you who watched Looney's first episode, I don't want to give too big of a spoiler, but I was surprised, let's just say this, in the episode, I was surprised with finding out early that Looney was getting the world. Not an hour after that, I had to stream the straight line, and it was, I was feeling ways at the start of that, and I had to keep it all just real nice and inside, and that was tough. That was tough. So Looney, screw you, dude, but also love you, but also screw you, but also love you. When is daytime coming? Oh, let's see. So for this clock tower, wood types, we're gonna need leaves. What leaves should we use? Leaves we can get, it's more about the color of the leaves than it is the type of the leaves. So what types of leaves can I farm in mass? Probably dark oak. But I need to build up a lot of saplings in order to get away with that. Oh yeah, no, my skulk farm deserved the mocking. It was rough. Hey Mandy, welcome back. Welcome back, Skyblock King. Wait, Looney, are you not that Looney? Am I being trolled super hard? Am I dumb? You're not that Looney. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. You're totally not that Looney, are you? Either that or I'm being double baited. Hold on. I'm going to your account. This is what we've come to. You're not. Rip. I've been baited. I've been baited. I have been baited. Well, anyways, Looney got the world, and I was baited once again. Baited by a different Looney this time. Oh, just came back in on a zombie sound. Where's the zombie? Oh, he's probably underneath. Where is the zombie? He's got to be underneath. All right. Thoughts. So blocks. Yeah, dark oak. Maybe we go on a little adventure to get some more dark oak. Where? Do I not have shears in here? I guess not. I've got plenty of this. All right. Let's dump some of this wood in here. We've got overflow storage now at this point. All hail the line. Get yourself some fortune on that hoe, perhaps some unbreaking. But like, why? You know, I guess the saplings, sure, but... All right, onwards and upwards. I did it to myself. Nah, you did it. You did it. It's your fault. It's Catherine's fault that Kevin is dead. You see, the number one rule of being me is that anything that happens on stream, not my fault. And there you go, guys. You have a textbook case of the YouTuber deflecting all responsibility. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. Well, I have to go now. Goodbye. See you later, Lesnick. Thank you for being here. Oh, hi, zombie. I think I know roughly where some dark oak is, so we can kind of go mass produce some. I definitely should have brought more iron than that. Okay, skeleton. Stop blaming Catherine for my son's death. Wow, Catherine. Can't believe you killed Maya's child. Yeah. From now on, anything that goes wrong, Catherine's fault. All Catherine's fault. I have noticed something. I never, ever get phantoms when I am sitting in a boat. And I don't know why. I think it must have something to do with like block detection and whether it's a spawnable area and like water is not going to be considered spawnable. It's a very interesting prospect. But it makes me wonder if you could be on like a happy gas. Could I like hop on to Moist Kevin for the night and not have to deal with phantoms? Could be very useful when building. I haven't been back to the area we're headed towards literally since first episode of Everwake.
Wow.
Ayo, Megan! Avoiding the blame again. Don't blame Catherine. Also, make a blue... I can't make a blue boat, Megan. The blue... It turns out the nether woods don't make boats. We thought they would because every other wood type does, but it doesn't.
Wow.
Oh my god, you guys. You guys. Thank you, but also... I didn't get a second notification. I'm a villain and I love it. Catherine, I don't think this is how being a villain works. You don't pay the hero to consider you a villain, right? You got to do villainous things. Are you making the clock tower or the tree? Why not both? We're doing both. There's a very small clip in episode 1 of Everwake of this exact shot. This is where I'm like, oh yeah, this getting wood was easy. There's jungle, there's spruce, there's birch. Yeah, I don't know where the spruce went, but maybe I got all the spruce, but this is that area, which means maybe it's a little further in the dark oak. Yeah, because the dark oak right over my head is coming into view. Josh, I'm responsible for the blue. That's, you know, that's valid. Catherine, get out of here. Not allowed in my stream anymore. You do dastardly, devious deeds. No more. Anyways. Dark oak. Kevin forgives everyone but Josh. No, Kevin is smiling down on me from Creeper Heaven. Full of TNT and 0 cats. Alright. Let's get some leaves. Oh. Hi, guys. No, 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 no. Bad. Bad. Actually, let's just try to get to the top of the canopy. That way we can collect a lot of leaves before chopping the dark oak. What's worse, leaving a floating tree or leaving the tree after stripping all its leaves? I love Megamind. Alright. This isn't going to be nearly enough leaves in the long term, by the way. It's just a start. You know, yes, we get more leaves from dark oak, but the tree itself is harder to cut down, which does make me wonder... if this is actually the right leaf choice. I guess I could burn it. Like, we don't need that much wood. Wow, we blasted through that. Elka Dogs, what did you miss? Lots of stuff. We're working on a mega build house for both me and Viking to live in. And that's going to be like a big clock tower with a tree wrapped around it. And we're putting that right in the middle of the valley. That's the main thing. So you guys say that leaving the tree without leaves generally seems to be worse in people's minds. Well, what can I say? Bad to the bone over here. I think that's where this is headed. Just gotta accept reality. I'm a rebel. Probably saying I'm a rebel with a southern accent implies something different. Leaving it without leaves isn't half bad. Floating trees are far worse. How big? Big. Real big. It's gonna go from the bottom of the valley and be taller than the mountain peaks. So it'll be quite a big build. Right now we're just kind of collecting leaves for what will eventually be the canopy. We're very much in the resource collection phase. Who came up with the idea to share a world, but not while coexisting? Well, so it kind of started out with UHC Generations, right? That was a series that I did last year that was originally started by a guy named Flaming Moai. And the idea is it's an ultra hardcore world, and whenever somebody dies, the world passes to a new person. I had the best time I've ever had on YouTube with that series. So I kind of started thinking, I was like, what is a way I could capture the energy of that without making a copy? And eventually, after like a year, I came up with the idea of Everwake. And talked to a couple people, but really Viking was pretty much my first pick, and he was in. And so here we are. Basically, that is the origin story of Everwake. So I will stay over here so you don't think I'm a famous YouTuber. Clearly you are. You are a famous YouTuber, Looney. You are a famous YouTuber, Looney, who is not the UHCG Looney. Maybe, you know, one of y'all have to have like a YouTuber boxing fight for the name, right? We need the big boxing match to see who gets to have the name. How did you feel getting spoiled by Looney? Absolutely broke my mind. I'm not terrible with secrets, but I'm not good with secrets. So having to try to hold that in was not the easiest time. But I did it. By golly, I did it. Another great thing from evolving from the beginning of UHCG, right? UHCG is one of the, like, it really is a special series. It really, really is. If Viking had not have had the time, who would have been your second choice? There's a few people. Leon was somebody that I did briefly talk to about it. Actually, I was having a conversation with him when I came up with the idea for Everwake. But ultimately, between SBK, between not wanting to make a UHCG ripoff, decided, wasn't going to be the right pick. Didn't get the chance to take it to Avid, but Avid was somebody I had considered. There's a few people. He can have it. I have been trying to figure out a new name. It's been really hard. Goofball. Close enough to Looney, right? I'm sorry, don't use that. Unless you like it. Hey, then you're good. But yeah. I'm pretty far behind because I came late, but I like the idea of a giant beanstalk leading to the clouds. Yeah, it's been thrown around. It's not my personal taste. It's a cool idea, I just don't necessarily want it as my house. Also, I don't want to have to climb the entire beanstalk every time I want to grab some wood out of my chest, you know? Nothing of huge interest there. Okay. I'm having the nose itch again, but from the line stream day one. My nose is like killing me. That's why I keep turning off my webcam more than usual. I'm so glad you developed Everwake. It was so apparent when you lost UHCG how upset you were. I just wanted to hug you, but this is just as amazing. Well, thank you. Yeah, UHCG was something so special. It's a rare thing when what you are passionate about and excited about in YouTube perfectly aligns with what people want to see. And then you get an opportunity to do it for an extended period of time, like make a series out of it. And that is really, really special. But also, just UHCG itself was a really special project. So it was perfect in so many ways. And I did always have that feeling looming over me that, yes, well, I'm finally living that YouTuber dream I've always had since I was 14. But I also recognized that UHCG was a temporary series for me. And so one day it would come to an end. So yeah, it was my kind of cope there was, well, at least I can make sure it ends in the way I want it to, so I can feel like I did it. And I didn't get to do it the way I wanted to, right? The treasure hunt, while I'm happy with it, is a shadow of what it would have been. But, that's life. That is ultimately the beauty of UHCG. Like, that was part of the battle, was accepting that just because I got to be in UHCG, and I am proud of the impact I left. Also, UHCG wasn't about me. Never was, never will be. And I'm proud that I got to be the part of it that I am, right? I'm not the main character of UHCG. Kind of was for a little bit, which was pretty cool. And that's a huge blessing. But I'm not. And I would be doing a huge disservice to UHCG if I acted like I was. So there's 10 people on Twitch. 19 people on Twitch. That's a few leaves. It's not a lot, but it's something. Maybe I start moving the actual storage for this project down here, because honestly, I've been so not sure about exactly what this build was was going to be that I wasn't even fully sold on where I was building it for a little bit. But now I think we are well past that. The vision is in place. The Twitchers are rising. Death is inevitable. Not the main character, but a huge part of its history, which in itself is great. Right? Yeah. I mean, I guess that was the ultimate conclusion to my arc, which happened off camera, which was just accepting that the beauty of UHCG is the shared adventure and the beauty of the world living on, like the core of it, like accepting, because that's another thing, right? You just don't, you never experience something like UHCG, so it's not a normal sensation when you're a content creator to have a series that is a single player series where you make all the creative decisions and then have to give that away to somebody. Like, yes, hardcore worlds do disappear out of your control for series sometimes, but like, also, I can tell you for sure, many YouTubers don't cheat themselves back to life. Like, their series last is exactly as long as they want them to. But also just, like, for a series that you poured yourself into not to be yours is just kind of weird. It's a weird feeling. And it's hard not to get overly attached to it because it was your baby. Now I gotta go catch the live stream. So awesome. Keep this going. Thank you for being here. It's rare that the MC world is the main character and the individual generations are just the passing caretakers, right? Yeah. If anything, I was almost more of a sports commentator. I mean, yeah, I did do things in the world, but a lot of what I did, in some ways, I was more of a spectator than any other generation, just for the fact that I spent so much time telling stories. Like, I was the historian. So a lot of what I did was just talking about the world, telling what other people had done. Oh, the phantoms are here. Yay! Yay! Great goated game mechanic. Love it. All right, we're just gonna hang out inside for now because I can't be bothered to deal with them. Oh lordy. Let's have a quick look and see how the shorts and stuff did. $1.4 thousand on the stream announcement short. What about the TikTok? Let's see what random TikTok. Nice. Ah, whopping 829 views on the TikTok. That is low. Well, such is life. Spammers will be given a warning. Yeah, yeah. How much time do I have left? About 18 days. A little over. Now they tell your story. Anyway, I'm trying to think of an awesome blue build. All I can think of is Smurf it. Oh, God, no. Oh, God, no. Alright, we'll see how long the webcam can last with the state of my itchy nose. Josh, what would you say to the idea of building a boat out of boats? How would you even do that? Just like stack boats into the shape of a boat? That would be tough. Like, sure. Does boat count as a spam? We'll make an exception for the boat. Even if I want to say yes. You know what? Boat can remain. And I'll tell you exactly why boat can remain. Do you know how much money I've made off this boat cult? And you know what? I don't even feel bad about it. You guys are paying me to make boats. Think about that. Have a moment of self-awareness. I can't even feel bad about that. Just, you proud? You feeling proud? Because I'm not sure you should be. It doesn't get old just to remind you guys, this is this is how I make money. What a weird life. The weirdest of lives. Boat cult rules. Yeah, it's the boat cult tithe, obviously. You must tithe. How long till I post my next Everwake video? Well, so I'm probably doing one video this month. So it's probably going to be... I have the world for about 2.5 more weeks. A little over 2.5. And it'll probably come out after my time is done. So it's going to be a little bit. There's been a lot of disruptions. But yeah. I see that smug look. I'm very proud because I spent nothing. Valid, honestly. You don't get money out of me because I use ad blocker. Ban this person right now. No ad block. Horrible, unreal, unthinkable. Why is anyone buying Super Chat? Well, I'm so glad you asked. Why would people buy Super Chat? Because if you become a channel member, you get all sorts of cool emojis. And you support me for making these awesome streams, which I sure as heck do try my best. But no, there's never any pressure to spend. I appreciate it. It's my living, so I do appreciate people making the streams possible. But YouTube is free for a reason, and it should stay that way.
Wow.
Well, Joanne, thank you. I am proud. Thank you very much. Thank you, Joanne. Really appreciate it. All of the unused wood could be used to make boats. No, it's going to be going towards a much better purpose. A tree. You know, something useful and doesn't lead to creepers getting stuck in boats and then chat talking about it for 3 weeks. Hey man, I just watched all of UHC Generations. I absolutely love the concept and your contributions. Everwake is a wonderful spin on the world sharing as well. I'm glad I found your content. Thank you so much, Jay. I really appreciate that. We doing our best out here. It's very special to me. Okay. So we got some leaves, we got some wood, we got blue. I mean, the Guardian Farm does its thing. I really don't need to bulk store that. That's just going to take storage space. What material should I make the clock face out of? Quartz? What are we still feeling? Quartz? Also, yeah, UHCG music playing right now. You got paid. Where's the... Oh my god. We're not... I didn't say we're actually doing the bulk coat. You give them an inch, they take a mile. They take a mile. But I can understand that maybe what I said was a little maybe misleading. So you know what? Sure. We'll do a boat. This boat probably won't stay though. Just fair warning, these boats aren't permanent because I'm not going to leave them here. They're making a mess. But for today, enjoy your boats. Catherine's boats and Joanne's boats. Just hanging out. Why is my chat all messed up? Quartz is the clock. The base? Yeah, it's part of it. So the base, the mega build is going to be a big clock tower going all the way up above the mountains with a tree kind of wrapping around it. and a big old canopy around it. So it's gonna be like a Gothic Big Ben style tower. There might be like some bridges or something that go out to the edges. I haven't fully settled on all the specifics. Quartz. I see a vote for quartz. Blue build could also be a cloud. Clouds are just not fun to build because they don't really work in Minecraft unless you build them out of glass, and that still doesn't look that good. Maybe you do a mix of diorite and calcite for shading. True. Let's make some quartz happen for now. At the very least, I want quartz, so let's go get some quartz. Megan, you want a boat too? You gonna do this to me? Megan! Fine. You get a boat, Megan. Enjoy. That's the last boat. No more boats today. Unless you like make it worth my while, you know? You know, if you all I'm saying, somebody donates enough and then they're just like, boat, you know? Like, I might be guilted into more boats. Bonsai tree wrapping around a clock. Yeah, that's basically the idea. We were talking about earlier, I have my very first bonsai tree, which has been dead for like 7 years, in a pot just to the left of my camera. And it is, yeah, I just can't let it go because I love bonsai trees and I feel very bad for killing it and could never throw it away. All this boat talking made a blue ship where all your task is to complete a mystery. All this boat talking make a blue ship where your task to create a mystery ends at. Fill it with chests of blue items as a treasure for Vile. Just provide him more blue. Just give him blue. I will not enable him. I could never. Cat needs to be in the boat with a name tag so we don't know which boat belongs to whom. Oh, because right now you don't know whose boat. Yeah, I mean, well, the boats are temporary. All right, where are we gonna get? Yeah, I mean, there's just quartz around. I know you can also like trade for quartz, but meh. For the purpose of the stream, we're just here to grind out stuff. And also, emerald supplies ain't great. Storykeeper Withers need a boat. Withers? Who's Withers? Oh, from way earlier. No. No. That was well before there was any boat talk. There was no expectation of a boat for that one. Be cool if there was something permanent you could get with a donation. We have done that before, and I definitely might do it again. I just want to wait for the right occasion, right? Like, I want the right thing. Also, I have been fairly like, hey, give me donation heavy in my last few streams, and I want to balance it out, you know? I don't want to be the overly money hungry guy. I do highly appreciate the donations because again, they make it possible, but I don't stream just to make money, you know? In ultra hardcore, boats are inevitable. This ain't ultra hardcore. Ain't no boats inevitable over here. I need to make sure I'm using my fortune pickaxe for this. For once, quartz mining is actually about the quartz and not about the XP.
Wow.
Silver. You did the thing. You did the thing. Thank you very much for the donation. Please tell me what type of boat you would like. I mean, I wrote the joke myself, didn't I? But also, Silver's a goat for making it happen. Thank you, Silver. Tell me what color of boat you want. Anything except pretty much pale oak or netherwoods, because we don't have pale oak, but... If no boat, then mayo spoon. No, I don't actually have mayo on hand. Get out of here. You're not nether quartz. You're just a disappointment to both me and your parents. Oh, my poor nose. Dark oak. Can do, good sir. Once we get out of the nether and I have dark oak, you shall get your boat. Get out of here. Get! Y'all suck. Get out of here. Stop! Stop! Nerds. Okay. Quartz. Wow, that is a lot of quartz. Unfortunately, I think it is it over lava? It's not over lava. It's a little precarious, but it's better than lava. We could go... You know what? We've been doing just boring grinding. Do you guys want to go look for dark oak? I mean, for pale oak? We could do that. Got about an hour. If you guys would rather go do that, we could definitely go do that. What do you guys think? Quartz mine? Or you want to go look for pale oak? I did take an allergy pill, yes. But then I've learned that the allergy pill was also making me feel very fatigued. So I'm trying to figure out the balance. It's also just an antihistamine. I didn't think that would be the case, but it was making me feel kind of sick. It's figuring out what's bothering me more, feeling sick from the allergy pill or the allergies itself. The allergies usually go away after a little bit. In Code Neon's chat, boats are inevitable. Now that's... Yeah. How did we get here? I see people looking for pale oak. Yep. All right, let's go find some pale oak. I mean, it's been long enough. It's definitely time to see if we can find it. So for starters, we can go back to that dark oak. See if we happen to miss a patch around there. I don't think we did, but you never know. Whoopsie daisy. Try Flonase. I used to use Flonase. Unfortunately, I used it for long enough that it kind of messed up. You're not really supposed to use Flonase super long term. Also, same with a lot of like allergy eye drops. But yeah, the Flonase stopped working for me after a while. How am I doing today? I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for asking. Yeah, after a very chaotic week last week, I'm happy to have a little bit of normalcy returning. I always say it's been a crazy time, but honestly, life has just been kind of crazy for like a couple years, like 2 years now. And crazy is starting to feel a little more normal than I'd like, but that is, that is how life goes sometimes. And crazy doesn't always mean bad, it just often means busy. Sometimes bad, sometimes good, usually just busy. God forbid if something happened to you, making you unable to play, what would you and Viking do with Everwake? I don't know. I think we would probably either put it on, I mean, it depends on the situation. Either put it on a hiatus or we'd call it for a season. Who knows? We talked about maybe, and do not, take this totally on a grain of salt because we have no idea if we're actually doing this, but maybe taking a season break after we beat the dragon, and we probably will be beating the dragon the next couple months. Probably. So, there might be a little break, and by a break I mean like a month, maybe 2. But that is the thing. Everwake doesn't seem like it would be a big grind, but taking a full month of going hard on it, and then usually you try to get another piece of content out. I don't know how Viking's doing it right now with all the stuff he's got going on. All right, we have a dark oak boat to make. Boom, 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 boom. That's one too many. Bada bing, bada boom. There's your dark oak boat. You know what? For funsies, let's ride it down the waterfall. See how far we can make it before it sinks. Probably not far, but you never know. Is it working? It's kind of... Oh, really? Really? Why did that put me out of... Oh, it's sunk. Alright. Woo! Oh, okay. Well. Oh, okay. Dark oak boat. A break can make sense. Just need to actually restart. Oh, we definitely won't, like, restart the world, I don't think. Just take a break. So a lot of the fun potential does come with Everwake getting very far advanced, where materials are much easier to get and big extravagant things aren't as hard to make. Alright, let's, well, we'll spend most of the time in a boat, so I guess we can go ahead and get going during the night. Alright. Cam, not cam. Yeah, I'm having issues with my nose, and I'm trying not to be gross with allergies on camera. Gage, welcome to the stream. Welcome aboard. We're currently gonna go look for some pale oak. More for funsies. We've talked about, I mean, it has been mentioned by Viking that he wants pale oak since literally his first month, so might as well go at least actually give it a shot, see if we can find some. Are you guys done uploading stuff to TikTok? Not at all. We just haven't had stuff to upload in a bit. Make a wither as a prank? No, I'm the one who's doing most of the builds. That just pranks me by getting everything blown up. It would make a funny prank, though. Imagine Viking waking up to a wither. Kevin is, Moist Kevin is kind of slow, is the thing. I thought about it, but he's a slow man. Actually, this is worth verifying. For those of you on Twitch, have any of you, like, become a sub or given bits today? Because I was having issues with my donation, Twitch donation alerts, or last stream, and I have no idea if that got sorted, and I definitely want to get that sorted if it's still an issue, because yikes. Say, Neon, we should do the next episode about the Nether. People don't like, people like the Nether, but it's terrible on YouTube videos. It, like, kind of ruins the video quality because YouTube doesn't handle it well. Oh, Oracle, you subbed and I didn't see it. It didn't alert, right? Well, Oracle, thank you. I'm so sorry that didn't go through. That's a bummer, but hey, thank you very much. Make the Wither a part of your adventure challenge. That's a thought. That is a thought. I kid you not, I saw a player. I mean, nah. This is a server, but nobody here. Must have been Hero Brian. Woo! Bet you saw like an Enderman or something at just the right angle. Maybe a zombie. See, no phantoms in the boat. Just peace. A nice gentle ride. It's going over to Avid to advertise you or make them aware of your existence. Oh, me and Avid, you know, we go way back. I've known Avid for a very long time. We did Gilded. Me and Avid were the ones who initially got Gilded SMP going. Past the Dark Oak. Oh man, it's gonna get dangerous as soon as we get out of this boat, but it must be done. Hold on. I'm not going. I got chat to read. Why did you make the world a server and not a single player world? Well, just because it's a hassle to send the world file back and forth. I mean, we could, but like servers. Oh, also the server can run 24/7 and keep the clock going. No problem, I don't do these Twitch thingies, but I had an account, I just figured out how to use the thing. It's okay if y'all can laugh at me. Hey, nothing to laugh at. You've been great. Bingus the Wither. Alright. Daytime's about here. We can get out of the boat. Onwards and upwards. Man, see... Tell me that is not the most goated generation ever. This seed, man. Everwake ends with a named Wither when they decide to be done. Oh god. More like 10 named Withers. And no sign of pale oak around here, unfortunately. So we shall keep going. Now, I've kind of been that way. I went that way when I was looking for Lush Cave in episode 2 or 3. No, don't worry, Catherine. Boat coming back. But we are entering, we're going to go to fully uncharted territory now. But going this way. Everwake should end with both going to sleep next to the beauty they have already created. I like that. That's poetic. Hey, Survival Island, anyone? I challenge Viking to spend a month on this island. That would actually kind of be a sick challenge. Just hide the mystery in that island somehow. And then tell him he has to spend a month on that island. Look at that tree. Was there one grass block and it decided to grow there? Ooh, look at all this. It is. It's just one grass block. That's awesome. I mean, there's more dark oak. Wow, this looks good. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous.
Wow.
Hey, Story Withers, thank you. What'd you say? Why does chat do it? Pale Oak is on the heights above. Did you see Pale Oak? Oh man, am I getting baited? Hold on. I can free cam back there, I think. What do we think, guys? Is it okay to free cam aerially to check Dark Oak patches? Or no? I mean, in this case, I'm trying to save a little time for the sake of the stream, but what shader do I have? It's complimentary reimagined. You've never watched Hermitcraft. Unbelievable. Thank you for the donation, by the way. Oh, you didn't see it? Well, I thought I could see enough to tell that there wouldn't be. Although the patch is a little bigger than I thought it would be. Yeah, the one thing I never do with free cam, just as an absolute rule, is obviously I don't like use it to X-ray underground, because that's just, I mean, that's full on cheating. And I mean, I guess free cam in general kind of is, but there's also something people don't talk about when they worry about cheating is flashback and replay mod. You totally fully free cam in retrospect with that footage, and you can 100% just go have a little look-see. Any more Dark Oak back here? This is all jungle. Okay. Yeah, looks like no Pale Oak. Man, check out these mountains. I love good mountains in Minecraft. It's always nice. Goated World Gen. Yeah, why does Pale Oak just spawn? Ignore those. Why does Pale Oak just spawn sometimes in tiny, tiny little patches? It's kind of the worst. No dice. Onwards, back to that other pretty area. Onwards. Probably no Pale Oak over here either, but you gotta check all the Dark Oak, because you never know. Man, Mega Taiga 2, though, that's awesome. Fairly rare biome. Why am I boating when I can fly? Because the gas are very, very slow. It would be a very, very slow exploration. Ah, love it. Gorgeous. No Dark Oak this way. All right, I think we're gonna proceed inland that direction. Do I consider playing with large biomes? I do like large biomes. It does, yeah, it's nice. It's, takes longer is the thing, right? You're basically making the world prettier in exchange for, just making it more time consuming, which sometimes is fun, but it's not necessarily a great video hook, which a lot of times when I play Minecraft, it is in large part about, hey, what's going to make good content? And large biomes, generally speaking, in my mind, don't make good content. Maybe for streams, but... if you're slow, you can chat. I mean, true. Free cam is also limited by your render distance. Very true. Visibility not excellent. Hey, back from Avid. Ad hit me within a second of joining his stream and then suddenly getting gifted a sub. Well, hey, I'm glad somebody's gifting him subs. The man deserves it. Yeah, me and Avid need to do another collab at some point. Just haven't had the right opportunity in a while. But he's a great dude. We venture into places never before seen on Everwake. At least I don't think Viking's been out this way. Although I will say World Gen's happening fairly fast. Maybe he has been out this way. Nice cherry blossom area. Ooh. Oh, pretty. This is lovely. Absolutely lovely. Oh my god. Nice. Dang, now that's a mountain. Look at that from ground level. That actually really feels like a mountain. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. I do not owe you a boat. We're past the boat thing. I said no more boats. Let's have a look at this cave. Just out of curiosity. Cool. The amount of times I've gotten stuck in a single biome because of large ones. Yeah, I mean, they're large. Probably like, what, 4 times the size of a biome, normal biomes? Have you seen the new snapshot? Iron golems? Yeah. Iron golems now place roses on copper golems. It's so cute. It's rare, but it is lovely. Oh, love the light rays, like god rays coming through the trees. Complimentary reimagined shaders, man. Looks good. I'm achieving Zen state running through here. One thing I do wish they would add, I wish they would add little pools of water with like lily pads and bamboo. Really give it a kind of Japanese garden feel. I understand it's not all that natural, but it'd be cool. Dude, it's a pink sheep. Holy moly. Y'all. Oh my god. All right. We put you in prison and we keep you for later. No, nope. Bad choice, bad choice, bad choice. Can't get out of that, right? Ayo. Pink sheep. I don't remember the last time I saw a naturally spawned pink sheep. It's quite rare. Unironically put him in a boat so he doesn't despawn. I don't think he would I don't think farm animals despawn. Found a pink sheep when I first played Minecraft and killed it because I didn't know it was rare. Oh no. My wife, the very first time she played Minecraft, loaded up a random world and spawned in right next to a woodland mansion. Like, what are the odds of that? Dangerous forest. Alright. It's nighttime, so we might as well do some more boating. Assuming this goes anywhere. It looks like it's gonna dead end. Any sign of more dark oak anywhere? That's some savanna. As much as I don't want to start going back into the forest, might be the smart move here.
Wow.
Hey, Silver! Thank you for another donation. Can its name be Boat? My god. My god. If I remember, it can be named Boat, sure. If I ever actually do anything with it. Do I still have a normal job? Nope, this is my job. I get paid in boats. Yeah, I mean, I don't like, I don't make a very full living off YouTube, but I have other income sources. So, like, yeah. Baby sheep, toot 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 toot. Ow. I'm surprised I haven't seen more villages, honestly. I think we can do face cam for a little bit. My nose is finally behaving a little bit. I think the weather's having a large effect. It's been so rainy over here for a while. Everything's blooming. Ah, nice open plains. That's what we like. No phantoms. I don't want to jinx it. Other incomes like gambling or extortion. Exactly. I scam people out of game keys on game key platforms. What is see, we don't have that much server lag, but bow and arrows really do be freaking out sometimes. Anything interesting? Not really. Ah, there's a village. Nope, there's the phantoms. Hey, Iron Golem. Oh, you've got other priorities. Gonna hit that phantom? Probably not. What is this, a zombie raid? Jeez. Hey, Untypical Gamer, welcome. Boats for the boat god. Whoa, Josh is very personal about his life, and that was... Wait, what? Oh. Oh, it's fine, Megan. I appreciate it, though. It was a joke. Pink sheep plushie. I know I could never do Everwake because the thought, oh, go to village, we can sleep and get rid of phantoms, right? You do get in a headspace eventually about it. But I genuinely don't think I have done any actual sleeping that I shouldn't. If I have, it slipped through the cracks. Like, there's nothing that actually enforces it. Again, just honor system. How much time do I have left on my turn until Everwake is over? I think 18 days. Love the new fallen logs, man. Looks so good. High quality. Oh, hi, Mr. Wolf. Bees. Nia Games, welcome to the stream. Phantoms suck more because bows don't work well on servers with the tiniest bit of lag. Yeah. It is true. And I love Everwake as much as I love UHCG. Well, thank you. That's high praise. I love Everwake. I don't think it's as good as UHCG, but also UHCG has had a lot more time to mature than Everwake has. Wow. Okay, you guys not cool. Really vibe kills. I'm making all of you dizzy. Thank God for daytime. Quest, retrieve the pink sheep, name them boat, and then put them in a boat. God. By the way, hello from Germany. Hey. We are currently, for those who are entering the stream, we're looking for pale oak. Because it's about time somebody found it. We've talked about wanting it for months now, so we may as well at least give it a proper try. What mob would you like to see Minecraft rework? Ooh, that's a good question. Phantoms. Genuinely. Phantoms suck. But if I had to choose something other than phantoms... that's tough. Well, that was rude. Don't do it. You just ate, man. Well, that's just greedy. No creepers. Any sign of dark oak? Doesn't really seem so. Nala, welcome. Have I played around with the copper golem sorting? Oh man, I want to. I have not gotten a chance to play with them. I've been watching some of Mumbo's videos about making item sorters. It's such a crying shame that we're doing sorting systems this month, because legitimately in a month or two, it would make so much more sense to do it with the copper golems, you know? But just the timeline of events is unfortunate. But yeah, no, I'm super excited. That's so much. Their new functionality is so much better than their old one. I honestly think the functionality is the biggest reason they lost the original mob vote they were in. Because, like, there's ways to do randomized redstone. Their function was totally useless. I mean, I guess there's ways to do item sorting too, but it's far cheaper. Like, it's actually a better option. Will you let chat name copper golems? I mean, maybe. Depends. We're a ways out from such an occasion, but it's a solid idea. I'm gonna have to end stream in like 20 to 45 minutes. More like 20 to 30. And at this rate, it looks like we are gonna be ending stream very far from home. Is that another village? I think it is. No, it's not. Alright, well, we don't want to be in the cold biomes, right? Because Dark Oak is not considered a cold biome, so it's not probably going to be all that close. Mumbo doing a very thorough job of exploring copper golem sorting. Yeah, it's nice. It's very useful because, like, that's the type of stuff we need right now to actually know how to make use of it. Oh. Knows better, but knows not perfect. Dark Oak. Not generated terrain. Car from home and Pale Oakless. Uh-oh. We have a new terrain lag. A little bit. Ooh, did you see that? Actually saw some of the steps of World Gen in there for a sec. It's like terrain changed after it generated. If you don't know, it's kind of interesting. At least it is to a command nerd like me. World Gen kind of goes in a bunch of passes, right? So you start off with like a very basic noise generation. And then you get basically some filters applied over top, right? So it starts off plain, and then it adds some jaggedness, and then it adds grass, and then it adds foliage, and then it adds ores. I'm not sure that order is correct, but it's generally that kind of concept. Do you already know when you're next going to stream? During Everwake months, unless I have a unexpected family emergency like last week, I stream every Wednesday. And I might start streaming every Wednesday in general if I get to a point where I have something to stream when it's not an Everwake month. But, okay, yeah, we're not going to find Dark Oak here. Need to ride a ghast around and look for Pale Oak. But the ghast is slow is the problem. Like, I move faster on foot. It would be more practical from a fun standpoint, like more comfortable of an experience, but this is faster. Ooh. I think the nose issues making my voice get a little irritated. Ooh. Actually, whoa. Am I losing my voice a little bit? That's not great. I'm gonna drink a little water. Hello, is this... No, this is a villager. I thought that was an actual igloo. Or is it? Can't tell. Either way. Well, I was hoping to avoid the cold biomes, but it seems like we're going this way. Yeah, you can see more, but also I can just do this periodically. Hi, Cold Cow. Beware of chicken gambling. Yeah, can't wait to use the new shelves for slot machines. Every time you lose the chicken gambling slot machine, it just hits you with an egg. Minecraft is such a pretty game sometimes. Sometimes it's not, but other times you get a view like this. And this feels like a really natural gorge. Reminds me a lot of Appalachian Mountains. Got just the huge pine trees. A lot of ground cover. It's lovely. The Great Smoky Mountains. What's interesting, for those of you who like don't know much about Eastern geography, like Eastern American geography, the Appalachian Mountains, I don't know if they're the oldest mountains, but they're one of the oldest mountains in the whole world. And the result of that is a far less like traditional mountain look. There's much less like rock faces and jagged edges. It's just, it looks like super tall hills. Hey, chill. Gorgeous forests. I believe it is considered a rainforest. Wow. We're not playing with large biomes, but it's starting to feel like it. Good grief. Absurd. But yeah, it's a really beautiful and special place. They are the oldest. Okay. Also a very crazy. Yeah, I did actually go for a hike in the Appalachians. May, June? Went on a 8-mile backpacking trip with a friend. Nothing that crazy, but I did not remember. I did not take into account just how hilly that hike would be. Oh my god. I was so dead afterwards. It was a really, like, the next day I was waddling around. It was just real sore. Is it not considered a rainforest? Okay, I heard somebody describe it as a rainforest. The oldest, what, in Africa? The oldest mountains are in Africa, 3.5 billion years? I mean, at that point, are they even mountains? Or are they just hills? Do I get ad revenue of streams? I do, yes. Though I do wish the ad count was... I have it set right now for the lowest setting of ads without just not having ads. I would prefer to have it a little bit less, but... Yep, unfortunately, it's this amount or none. Yeah, that, I mean, that's interesting, but yeah, at that age, like, are they even genuinely still mountains at this point? And I mean, I don't know, I haven't seen them, but it seems like the erosion would have just completely ruined them after that long. So part of the same formation. Really? That's fascinating. Any dark oak. Oh no, did I accidentally circle right back around? I think I did. Dang it! Dang it, dang it, dang it. Because I'm pretty sure this is probably the same mountains we've looked at a few times by now. Rip. Well, if we make our way back to the ocean, then we will try one more direction. Petition to change mountains to hills. You know, that's something I never really thought about, but erosion, obviously over a massive amount of time, is why mountains like the Appalachian look so different from like the Rockies. But I guess if you have a desert, like if you have mountains in a desert area, like a more dry area, like I guess Africa hasn't always been super dry, has it? It's interesting. I guess generally with the cycle of Ice Age and such, areas have generally over such a vast period of time probably experienced relatively similar erosion levels over all of history. Grew up by the Appalachians, so many great memories. It's a great place, it really is. Oh, I see. You have a trident. I try to go after the drowns that have tridents whenever I see them. Do I have looting? I do have looting 3, so like, come on. Nope, you're just a loser drowned. A useless, nobody likes you drowned. A hill is anything that is 2,000 feet or lower than its starting place. Mountains are taller. Interesting. Yeah, I guess that's one of those things where we have to define an arbitrary boundary. Okay. Neither of you have a trident, right? Oh, it's nighttime. They move so fast. Good lord. Oh. Get out of here. Erosion is worse than that. Actually, that does make sense because sand's getting blown around. Everything's dry, so it gets washed away easier by water currents. That makes sense. Huh. There's like a portion of the chat that is absolutely enthralled and interested in this conversation, and then there's another part that probably is falling asleep to us talking about, ooh, erosion. Wow, erosion. But you know what? Gosh dang it, it's interesting. The tallest hill in the world. Okay, the tallest hill in the world is 1,999 feet. So exactly 1 foot short of being a mountain. That's quite funny, honestly. I guess I can maybe get like a lodestone out of this if I check. Lodestone would be nice. Lodestone? Lodestones! Flint and steel, sure. Meh. I can't convert feet to meters in my head. Isn't a meter almost exactly the same as a yard? I don't think it's spot on exactly, but it's very close, isn't it? Three feet is roughly a meter. There you go. Oops. Ooh, that scared me a little bit. A meter is like 1 1/10 yards. Okay, so that definitely, I mean, that difference adds up quite a bit over time. I'm not trying to start a fight on why metric is better than imperial. Oh, dear Lord. Asking the important questions. I think most people don't disagree with you at this point. It's just, you know, comfortable with one thing and you don't want to change. I go back and forth on whether I think Fahrenheit or Celsius is better. Fahrenheit or Celsius makes more sense, but Fahrenheit feels more precise, which I appreciate. If you want some blatant statistics about how interesting this conversation is, the stream viewership has dropped by about 5 people ever since erosion came up. Which means it's like not interesting, but it's only barely not interesting. I love this this chat, the way they just decided to talk about mountains. When did we even start talking about this? That's my bad. Fahrenheit is actually German. Weird hearing Americans use use a German word on a daily basis. Yeah, I could see why that would be confusing. I did not know that. Yeah, oh, really? The Phantom spawned right as I got in the boat. It's messed up, bro. But the boat's faster. Can they actually? Okay, yeah, they can catch up. Still, I think I will outrun them after the first pass. Hi, how do I join? Where are you trying to join? You trying to become a channel member? You can become a subscriber on Twitch. I apologize, my Twitch notifications are not working well. Again, I need to figure that one out. But otherwise, you can become a channel member over on YouTube. Once you subscribe, the subscription button becomes a join button. And then you can join and get fun perks like custom-made emojis that I had commissioned by our very own Derp, who's in chat sometimes. Kevin is American. You use metric system, you're shame. Okay, really? More phantom spawn as I get back on land? That's messed up. Ooh. Well, we might not find pale oak today, but we could maybe find a treasure. Ooh, I love this type of beached ship. Feels more interesting to me than the docked ones. Or the like, fully sunken ones. Sure. And a diamond? Nice. There's should be 2 even on this variant, right? I'm gonna hide from the phantom real quick. Aha! Ah, what a disappointment. My cat just joined me in watching the stream. Well, hello, Lynx's cat. Boom. Boom. Sure. Another bird's eye view. What are we looking at? Ooh, shattered savanna over here. Gotta love it. Sure. Ooh, I can chat on YouTube. Wow, I didn't... I need my kid to help me again, LOL. Don't ask how I survive on my own Minecraft world. Yeah, you can chat over on the YouTube side of things. Why does Minecraft have poisonous potatoes? I think it was... I think it was kind of related to that phase Minecraft went through where they got really overly concerned with making things kind of realistic. Like, ooh, we're the responsible kids. We're a responsible game where we teach kids important real life lessons. And then everyone remembered it's a block game, and if with dragons and creepers, and if you're taking any real life lessons out of this game, then maybe that's a you problem. But also, I mean, I guess it does make it like potatoes are one of the best crops. So like having a chance to get poisonous potatoes does offset their productiveness a little bit. Though honestly, if they were going for that, it would need to be a little bit more effective. Because like potatoes can become poisonous. Believe it or not, there's some called solarizing, where if they get too much sun exposure, they turn green and they become poisonous to eat. So poisonous potatoes are a real thing. I actually grew some potatoes in my garden last year, and they were delicious. And I did have a couple that solarized, and I had to throw them out, and that was very sad. Uh-oh. Everwake just became UHCG. It's UHCG. Oh no. Wish you could use poisonous potatoes for something? I could agree with that. Ooh, there's a minecart over there. You never know what you might find in a minecart. Nothing all that interesting. I always like having a little coal when I find it. UHC wake. Y'all, we're gonna have to stop the stream here in just a couple. I have to pick up my wife from work. Ooh, the desert bushes, yay. Minecraft, where the updates can be so weird and sporadic, where you get excited about grass. Not looking good, chat. I don't think we're gonna find pale oak. It's kind of fun. I feel called to boat through here. This is fun. This would be a fun little place to like build a hideout. But I mean, it's miles away from home. Have a great day, lovely mountain chatters and world explorers. What's my favorite and least favorite states I visited in real life? Well, that's just gonna call people out. Like, I would never tell people that I dislike. I don't know, I was just gonna jokingly throw out a state there, but I honestly can't think of a state that I truly haven't had a good time in. I will say, Virginia's road police are the worst. Well, Florida's like highway patrol is also really bad. Hey, Oracle Mom, thank you for being here. If you're heading out, it's good to see ya. But yeah, highly appreciate everyone being here. We found a coral reef. Oh yeah, there's a coral reef near home. Boats away to the next time he streams. I mean, we're not leaving just yet, but we'll be leaving probably about 10 minutes. Limited time offer as an apology for not finding pale oak. You can get boats. Boats are back on the table for a little while, till the end of the stream. We're running a sale, a boat sale. Shipwreck is almost tempting to check, but honestly, I can't be bothered. I've been to Texas. Texas was very hot. Let's see, what states have I been to? I've been to... Very briefly, I've been to New York. I've been to Tennessee. I've been to Georgia. I've been to South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia. Been to Ohio, briefly in Kentucky. Spent some time in Oklahoma. Florida, obviously. What other states? I've been to, I think, a couple more than that, but out of those, oh, I've been to West Virginia. They've all got strengths. They all do. We need a marina to park all these boats. You know, I've actually had that thought. I've had that thought. And it is a good idea. Ooh, proper, like, shattered Badlands. That I like. What'd you miss? Oh, you missed the stream. It's about over. We've been looking for Pale Oak, but no dice. I think we are tough out of luck. We might have to try a new direction next time we search. How mean would it be finding Pale Oak a task? That would be brutal. Oh yeah, there was a desert temple. I guess I could go for that real quick. Where was that desert temple? That's back there. That could be a nice place to end the stream. Been to every U.S. state except Alaska. Oh yeah, I did. I guess I did. I went to Hawaii when I was young. Hawaii was very fun. Obviously, you know, times have changed on that front, but it was fun to be there when I didn't have to feel bad about it. What are we looking at? Breaking? Sure. Lame? Sure. Nope. Okay, let's deal with this inventory situation a little bit. Nothing amazing, but not bad. Hey, see you later, Elka Dogs. Thanks for being here. Oh, I just missed that you're doing an Alaskan cruise. That'll be fun. My mom did one of those, I think last year. Maybe the year before, but yeah. She had a very good time with that. Well, you know what, guys? It's nighttime, and we did something fun to end it off. I don't think it's going to get any more fun than that in the next couple minutes, so we'll call it there. Thank you for being here, and we'll be live once again next week. Probably have gotten started on the mega build by then. It's all about grinding and getting the build done this month, so that's where we're at, and I appreciate the company while we've been working. I will see you guys later. Bye.